Last week on Gleeboot, we visited Alyssa's favorite holiday, Valentine's Day. And there was a kissing booth, and Alyssa's making a grossed out face. And that's what we missed on Gleeboot. Gleeboot. I almost said Gleeboot. It's a mess, but we'll keep it.
Because we're a mess.
Of course.
Like Tina, who broke down crying in her song last week on Gleeboot.
Tina.
Gleeboot.
So, hi, welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee. I'm Cullen.
Allyssa.
I'm Hannah.
And we have a special guest.
Allyssa.
Hi, everyone.
We both have the same name. Isn't that great?
It's spelled different.
It is spelled different. And to that point, we are going to be pronouncing the names a little bit strangely today. Alyssa's name is Elissa. So she will be Elissa, and I will be Allyssa, because my name is Allyssa.
Oh, it's got two L's?
Yes, it's very symmetrical if you write it down. My mother's a bit OCD.
Your mom, Beth.
Yes, my mom,
I know.
Beth. Oh my goodness.
We need to say that Elissa is, she says she is our number one fan. So that's
I'm
how she
president of the
knows
fan club.
Alyssa's mom's name. She has never met Cullen or Alyssa. Oh, no, wait, you've met them.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
met.
Hold on. Never mind. You guys have
Yeah.
definitely met.
I know
But
that.
she is one of our top fans.
Yeah, that's how I know that Alyssa's mom is named after Quinn Fabray's baby.
Yes, that's how time works.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so-
really, really, really excited to be here.
Thank you for being excited
Huge fan.
and
Huge
for being here.
virtually, of course.
fan. Mhm.
Yes.
We're covering 3 different states right now: Florida, Ohio, and California.
Oh my goodness.
Elissa is close to the roots of Glee in Lima, Ohio.
Yes.
Yes, I feel it like really spiritually.
Wonderful.
I wonder what Glee feels like spiritually. Just like a cappella lurking in your soul.
Indescribable.
So, Elissa, did you do Glee bingo?
I tried to do a Glee bingo. I am actually really hoping that I can take this time to share my Glee boyfriend quiz results and get my 30 seconds that Hannah allotted to me to talk about Darren Criss.
Go.
It's
time.
This is a very Darren Chrisless episode.
Yeah,
And
that's
Alyssa
like,
specifically wanted to talk about him, so go ahead.
yeah. So he's not in this episode. But I don't know if any of your other guests have talked about Star Kid. I was a Star
little
Kid.
bit.
Yes. So I was very much into that because when I was in like high school, it was really important to me that I was cool because I knew things that people didn't. It's fine. But I really, really loved a Harry Potter musical and a Harry Potter sequel. Like I would watch them when I would get really sad or like just bored or they were just always on like my bookmarks on the internet. So my mom and I started watching Glee. And after season 1, I was like, that was fine. But then in between season 1 and 2, when I heard that Darren Criss was coming to Glee, I cried real tears. I was so excited. I was like so proud of him for like making these moves with his career. And then I still managed to stop watching Glee after like the middle of season 2. Like not even Darren Criss could save it for me. But I love him, and he is the result of my Glee boyfriend quiz on BuzzFeed, as he should be.
What?
I know.
We have the same Glee boyfriend.
I mean, he is the perfect boyfriend. He should be everybody's boyfriend. I love him so much.
He is the teenage dream.
And like,
Nice.
I don't know what he's doing right now. I think he's still working with Ryan Murphy, but like in my head, he is always like, it's always 2011 with me and Darren. Thank you. That's all I needed to say.
She sets up her
wonderful.
pedestal.
And you also summed up another one of our questions, like what's your Glee journey? And
Yeah.
you summed it up with Darren Criss as a highlight, but not enough to quite save the show.
Darren
No.
Criss is your Glee journey.
Yeah, that's it. I went to college, so I didn't want to like come home once a week to watch Glee with my mom, you know?
Fair.
Like, it just wasn't
Yeah,
worth it.
because they lived so far away.
I was like literally 15 minutes from college to my house, and I was like, it's not worth it.
That's too much. But also, Elissa, I believe that you showed me a picture of a Halloween costume you once had. It was
Oh,
inspired
yes.
by something in
Okay,
Glee.
you guys really hated on the Lady Gaga episode of Glee, and that episode changed my life. I thought it was so good. Bad Romance is my favorite Glee song. And like when Rachel comes back after Idina Menzel like makes her that costume, and she's wearing like the black dress with the like sequin triangles and sunglasses, that was my Halloween costume junior year of high school. And I made my poor mother stay up in our kitchen until like 1 o'clock in the morning on a school night, like hot gluing sequin fabric to those like pieces of cardboard and gluing them to this dress. And then everyone still thought I was Hannah Montana.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
The kind of happy family memories Glee brings.
Yeah, it's a very up and down journey. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yes. Alyssa, do you want to go first?
Yes, I want to go first. I am once again drinking out of my cyanide glass, but what is in it is not cyanide.
Good.
Great.
I made it up. I think I don't have a Glee name for it, but I'm gonna call it orange cream cocoa.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So after I describe it, you guys can come up with a new Glee name. It is 1 ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of pumpkin spice cream liquor, 1 ounce of triple sec, and half an ounce of cocoa de cream.
Creme de cocoa.
Creme de cocoa, yes, that. The chocolate drink, liquor. And then, so what you do is you put it all together in a shaker with ice, and you put in half a clementine, and shake it with the clementine, and it gives it a nice citrusy taste. And then you can take the orange or the clementine peel and rub it around the outside of the glass. It's very good.
I'm going to call it a sunshine corazon.
I was just gonna say that.
Yes!
It's perfect.
Okay. Yes, I love it.
Our favorite Glee character who's in so many episodes.
She is in so many episodes. Yeah. I'm starting to doubt whether she's actually ever gonna come back. And I've seen like season 2. So like
Wait, I'm sorry. She comes back?
she joined Vocal Adrenaline. So like I don't know. Is she gonna come back? I honestly don't remember.
Me either.
Okay, well, we'll find out.
In like 4 weeks. Yeah.
Elissa, what are you drinking?
I have a Dogfish Head Slightly Mighty, which is their like 100-calorie IPA, and I don't think anybody in the whole world likes it except for me. I think
I
it's
don't like
just me.
IPAs, so.
It's like an IPA mixed with a Bud Light, so it's like kind of my college dream come true. I've been really into it lately. Alyssa, your drinks are always so like grown up. You always have these like really nice cocktails, and I can only drink beer.
She
And
got
I was
like a
very jealous.
cocktail mixing kit for Christmas, right? I remember
Yes,
editing that
I did.
episode.
Specifically for this podcast.
Are you
But
serious?
Yes, well, I mean, I've
Aw.
always wanted one, and this was my excuse to get one.
I'm starting a podcast. I have to drink more. And they have to be adult drinks.
It's so fun, though. It's like really fun chemistry or something.
Yeah,
it does
and you're
sound
getting
fun.
really creative. I would have never thought of this concoction. I would actually
pretty
try it.
delicious.
It
It's
sounds like
really
a good
good.
fall drink, even though it's summer. So maybe in the fall we should revisit it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of a fall drink, but the citrus gives it a little bit more of a pop.
Yeah.
And the cocoa, creme de cocoa kind of gives it like a more down to earth taste. It's all over the place. I love it.
I am drinking the very simple rum and coke, quick and dirty.
I'm drinking in a Opolo Loco cup a mix of raspberry lemonade and black cherry White Claw. I'm calling it the Trouty Mouth in honor of Sam.
Nice.
Because it's cherry like his lips.
Right.
Lips
Totally.
are cherry flavored, aren't they?
Well, isn't that what Katy Perry says?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you wear Burt's Bees, then they're honey flavored.
Or pomegranate.
Or
Yeah.
mint. I had a mint one.
Pomegranate's my favorite of the Burt's Bees.
I'm really glad we're covering our beauty preferences on this podcast.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. It's a sequel to the Fabre Firework.
Oh, yes. A sequel. I
A
like
sequel
it.
drink, yeah.
I need to get some White Claw because I've never had it before and I hear that it's very, very good.
I have a bunch in our apartment right now. You can have
Yeah, you guys live together.
You know,
it's on
I have-
sale a lot lately.
I've read that Ohio, and specifically Cleveland, is one of the most popular places for White Claw. I think I told you this, Hannah, because you said
Yes.
you had never had it, and I like the next day on my Facebook feed or something, there was an article that was like, Cleveland cannot stop drinking White Claws. I have, like-
why.
So many.
I don't know why. It's fine. It's like a good, if you're gonna be drinking all day, it's a good thing to drink all day. Not that I drink all day. I haven't for a couple months.
I once had 10 in the pool bar at Put-in Bay. They go on so easy.
Yeah.
It's just,
10?
it's perfect. Yeah, I mean, like, it was
That's-
over like 3 hours, and
wow.
then my sister called to tell me she was engaged, and I was not awake. Went to bed at 5 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like me on St. Patrick's Day a lot of times. Like, if
Yep.
you start drinking early, people are like, oh, I'll join you later at 7 o'clock. I'm like, I started early. Like, I don't want to be out late.
Oh my god. That happened when, I don't remember, Elissa, if you were there for that St. Patrick's Day, but I promised that I would come join you guys at this bar downtown Boston, on like the whatever side of Boston it was. And at like 7 o'clock, and you're like, I'm not gonna be there at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be in my bed. But then we ended up going to one of our friends' apartments. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were there, Alyssa. You might have.
I
been.
was only there for that one time me and Kevin came down, and all the bars had a cover charge and were cash only.
Oh yeah, and we're like, forget that. And
We're
where
like,
did we go?
this sucks.
I don't even remember where we ended
Back to
up.
your apartment to drink.
Oh, nice. You know,
Yeah.
the local pub, Hannah's apartment.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Glee.
Glee.
We're just catching up, old friends.
A whole couple of pals.
This is a chill
Okay,
sesh.
wait. First, did anyone get bingo? I kind of got a bingo. I had to kind of finagle it a bit, but I have a lot
We
of.
We got a bingo. We got one.
What did you guys get?
We had Brittany say something dumb. You crawl out of your skin, which Alyssa said, is it too early in the episode to say I crawl out of my skin?
I also thought that because I ended up putting that really early.
It was like the first minute or
Yeah.
something.
We have Sam takes his shirt off, which technically it was just a shirtless scene. We didn't see the act of taking his shirt off.
It
but
counts.
I still think it
That
counts.
counts. That counts.
Artie says something sexist, and the Glee Club is referred to as the New Directions.
Yep. Yeah, so I got a different one. I got someone kisses someone else, Rachel learns a lesson, shoes face, and then Emma's pamphlets are shown. We did see the one pamphlet, and then Brittany says something dumb. Yeah, Rachel learning the lesson was Brittany literally giving it to her, which I can't wait to talk
Oh,
about
right,
that
right, right.
soon. But
Interesting.
yeah, that was the bingo I got. What about you, Elissa?
I thought I was able to finagle the second row, Emma's pamphlets, crawl out of your skin. They make a gay joke, they sing a bop, and Finn says something dumb. Because Finn
Oh.
saying something dumb, I think, is really up for interpretation.
Yeah.
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 He was a douchebag this episode.
Didn't
we
love
all
it.
got different bingos.
Yeah, which that's the beauty of the bingo board for Glee.
Yeah, it's up to your interpretation of Glee. Death of the author, interpreter's reign.
Speaking of interpretation of Glee, I did want to add that this was my boyfriend's first time watching an episode of Glee. He was like, I don't want to watch this. And I was like, no, like, you have to. But then I procrastinated it. So it was like midnight last night. And I was like, oh, I have to watch this Glee episode. Like, I really wanted to remember it. So I'm watching it really close to recording time. So I made him watch it with me. And his first impression of Glee, I like inserted some of his comments into my notes because they were killing me.
I cannot wait to hear Mark's commentary.
So excited.
I love how you said, though, before we get into it, that you said you were procrastinating by watching it basically this morning.
I was.
I watched it at 4 p.m. today.
Okay. I had like big plans. I wanted to watch it like 3 times so I could like really see what was going on. Like, I did not want to mess this up. But then we planted a vegetable garden yesterday. So I was,
You were busy.
I'm jealous. I want a vegetable garden.
I'm just gonna say that's time better spent.
Honestly. I have a hard time getting through one view of each episode. I appreciate your gusto. But
I really wanted
I'm
to
glad
make you
did
proud.
not subject yourself to more than one viewing. Or Mario.
Yeah, you know, one
or the
seems
cats,
like enough.
the poor cats.
Oh, the cats didn't even watch it. I could not keep them in the room.
They're just like, I'm sick of Rachel Berry's shit.
This sucks.
Okay.
So now it's time for the episode Comeback. We got a few plots. We got
A few.
We got Puck and Lauren, our favorite couple. Yeah. We got Quinn, Sam, Finn, Santana. Love quadrangle. We have Rachel learning a lesson, and we have Sue and her suicide attempt in the most offensive pun I've ever experienced.
Yes. Literally the most offensive pun.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Well, I mean, that's the first scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will is like, I almost said preaching to his Spanish class.
He is quote unquote teaching Spanish class.
Every time I forget he's a Spanish teacher, they always bring it back.
And then he says like regresar literally just like that. And I'm like, why are you a Spanish teacher? You're not.
Wait, that's so
fooling
funny
me.
because my first note was Will Schuester can roll his R's and I cannot. Did we hear 2 different lines?
I was saying, like, I didn't even hear it. I just like blacked out the fact that he was teaching Spanish again. I was like, why are you here? You shouldn't be in this class.
True.
I also cannot roll my R's.
That makes me
Alyssa's
feel
not
better.
not roll R's.
I can only do it for like a little bit.
Can't do it at all.
I'm sorry.
My
Can
tongue
you-
is too tense.
Can you make can you curl your tongue like a hot dog style? I'm
Yes.
doing it now because this
Yes.
is a visual medium.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
You guys
me
do
too.
that? Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was like a lesson on how to roll your R's. That's it.
No, it was just how like I don't know, durable your tongue is. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on.
To roll your R's, your tongue has to be really relaxed. And
Yeah.
you can't, I can't do it. My tongue is too tense all the time from speaking really sharp vowels.
Oh my god.
Alyssa's face is very intense right there. And I had a Febreze firework and just finished my Trouty Mouth, so I'm like, buzz.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am almost out of my quick and dirty, and I kind of feel like I should get more.
Always, you need it to get through this episode. I enjoyed it, but it was a mess.
Maybe if I get smashed, I will be able to roll
Triggered.
my R's.
Yeah, if you don't eat our friend Smash, it's coming to Broadway. So, Emma goes to get Will because she's like, Sue wrote a suicide note, and she's like, life is meaningless, I'm committing suicide. And they run over to her house with all her trophies, and they break in, and they think she stopped her pulse, but it turns out she just can mentally stop her pulse, and she ate a bunch of vitamin B gummies.
She said it was her CIA training, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and so she's like, my life is meaningless, and then Will's just like, you're a nasty, awful person.
Yeah,
I was so confused.
she
They
literally
were not.
had some sort of intention, you know, whether he understood fully or not, to kill herself. And he's like, you're a garbage human being. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
It was such a strange scene.
Because he breaks down the door to, like, come save her.
Which, like,
And then
why
he's
didn't you
like-
call the police? If
And
you
then
find a
he-
suicide note, you call the police.
And like, what's
And
his
then-
class doing while this is all happening? Like, he just left his class to go to Sue's
They're
house.
in there being
Yeah.
like, hey, can you roll your R's?
Mike Chang's throwing paper at Puck and Finn because that's what he was doing at the opening. They always have Mike Chang throwing paper at people.
Yeah, that's kind of his
Why?
thing. That and pop and lock in.
It's like his character traits. They're like, what are Mike Chang's character traits? It's Glee, so they list Asian as a character trait. It's not, but according to Glee writers, it is. And they're like, throws paper, dances. Yeah. So yeah, Will is awful. As anyone who's ever been trained in how to deal with a depressed or suicidal person knows, you don't call them a nasty freak who deserves everything they got.
Just a
Maybe don't
PSA.
ever say that to another human being.
Yeah.
Just like in general.
Life advice from Gleeboot. And Emma's kind of shocked, but they leave Sue, and then later Sue, they're like in their office talking about it, and Sue comes in with a noose and is like, can you help tie this noose so I can hang myself or something?
She says something about like the rafters in the gym or her office. I can't
There's-
No,
remember.
in her office.
In
It
her
has too much
office.
asbestos.
It's just like,
Yeah,
and that could kill
yeah.
a person. And I'm like, isn't that the point of a noose then? It was one
Yeah,
of those
I
like,
don't-
weird twists that it was honestly funny, but then when you think about it too much, it doesn't make sense. But
No, it
Doesn't-
didn't make sense at all. The whole time I was trying to figure out if she was actually trying to kill herself or not.
She wasn't. That's what they revealed.
Did she just like want attention? Is that what they were getting at?
Yeah, that's Glee's great message. Suicidal people just want attention.
Ugh.
yeah, one of
It
many
was
great
really-
messages.
It was a bad plot line.
That would not be have made. That wouldn't have been made in 2020.
This is also
Yeah.
where we got my first comment from Mark, my boyfriend. He was like, "Where do I know her from?" And he's talking about Emma, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't really know a lot about Jayma May's career, admittedly." And he goes to her IMDb, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Where do you know her from?" He's like, "I don't want to tell you." He's like, "It's from Paul Blart Mall Cop."
An equally great piece of media. I didn't realize
was
she
like, oh,
was
that's
in
my
that
podcast.
movie because I don't think I've ever seen it.
Good choice.
I want, like, you know how they remade Ghostbusters with women? I want them to remake Paul Blart Mall Cop with Emma as Paul Blart. That's what people want, right?
That's what some people may want.
Yeah, I just want all like the meninists to be like, they're ruining my childhood. The feminists have taken over Paul Blart Mall Cop. I just want that to be
Can't
in the
even
public
write a
discourse.
segue correctly.
So we're doing anything to avoid talking about this soup
Yeah, we
plot.
are.
This plot sucks.
So then they're like, Sue, is there anything? Well, because then Will's like, Sue, life is beautiful. And he's just like,
But you don't deserve it. That's like what I felt that he was saying to Sue.
and Emma's like, is there anything that made you feel better? And she like hands her a pamphlet that says, I'm too depressed to open this pamphlet. And she's like, well, I was singing. What song did she sing along to in her car?
I
I did not catch it.
I heard her say it, but it did not register as a song that I knew.
Yeah, I did not know the
Same.
song. It's something like I Have Not Met Me or something like that.
Yeah, she said she
Again,
sang
a
along to the
fact-check
chorus.
episode.
She sang along to the chorus, and it made her feel better. Yeah. And I'm just noticing Alyssa's nails are purple. I feel like the last time they were red.
They've been purple the whole time, Cullen.
But, like, today, yes. But last time, were they red?
No, they've been purple the whole time.
Of all time, you were born with purple nails.
No, the whole last time I painted my nails, they were purple. I reapplied.
Okay. Well, Sue.
We really
Your
are
face, your
avoiding
face.
this plot.
Oh my goodness.
I really don't want to talk about it. Okay. So
I pity you. No, I will take pity on you. Is that how it goes? They were red last time.
they were okay. Oh my gosh.
I wish you could see Cullen's face.
Quality. This is a visual medium. So Sue is. They invite Sue to be in the Glee Club. Basically, that's what this whole all this shit is leading up to.
Which is literally
And
the
then-
second time they've done this in the past 5 episodes. Because they had Krofsky and the football team come in and ruin their safe space, and now they have Sue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sue, because she was interviewed as Loser of the Year, because she's feeling bad, and Sue then reveals that was her plot all this time to give her something to do to destroy Glee Club by destroying them from the inside.
Okay.
I did not get
first of all,
that.
I'm really confused. Like, I understand that she's depressed
Yeah.
because she was interviewed as Loser of the Year, but is she not still cheerleading coach?
Yeah, because Emma even makes a comment like, because she's like, what are my cheerleaders supposed to do? And Emma's like, cheer for the teams.
I don't
But
know.
it's all
I
about
didn't-
winning competitions for her, and like because she lost regional, she can't go to sectional or nationals.
Nationals.
So like, she
but
she got knocked down pretty hard. So I can understand that, but also like, I don't know.
I wish we saw if she's actually like supposed to be feigning depression, or if she's supposed to be depressed. Because I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I cannot tell if she's supposed to be tricking people or if she's actually depressed, and she just like realized that being part of Glee Club could reinvigorate her life as she tries to destroy it.
I think she's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think she's definitely upset, and she's sort of like she has this guise of obviously wanting the attention so she can try to sneak into Glee Club, etc. But then like later on when they have that other sequence with the children, I think that does actually touch to something like she is kind of upset about something and music does actually help her. But it's really
Wait, so
like
it's
grasping at straws.
yeah. So it's an actual plan. It's not an opportunity that she takes.
I think it's an actual plan.
Yeah. I think it's an actual plan that she's like, I'm gonna
Okay.
have, because honestly, like, if she was actually gonna commit suicide, I don't think she would use a pun, or maybe she would. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she would.
You think so?
I don't think we want the answer to this.
Sue?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I know, guys.
She is married herself in a tracksuit dress.
My whole I didn't understand this plot at all. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I didn't
So-
realize it was like a thing she had planned. I thought she like actually joined Glee Club and then decided to take them down. I did not realize it was the plan all along.
It was in
That's
her
what I thought.
voiceover where she was like, essentially like, I finally can get on the inside, like what I've wanted to do all this time, kind of language.
Which
but
sounds like
it's
an
not-
opportunity.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not
at the same
super
time,
clear.
her voiceover also said, "Now I have something to live for." Like she
That too.
didn't
True.
before. So it's all I don't know, they just did a terrible job with it, I think. Because it's not clear at all.
Wow, this is a first for Glee. Something is not clear with Sue's motivation. Wow.
So, in order to destroy the Glee Club, Sue talks to Mercedes and Rachel and is like, I'm looking for advice on how to be a diva. And then she plants lies that they each said the other one was untalented. And so Mercedes and Rachel are like, they stomp down the hallway at each other. They're like, just when I thought we were friends. Oh, I guess that'll never happen. I heard what you said about me. Like, we're gonna challenge this in a diva off.
Okay.
Because they can just do this. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I jumped. I succincted this storyline.
No, this is good because this is really the only thing I want to talk about. So when Sue first quote unquote joins Glee Club, everyone's literally like, she is terrible. She's gonna try to take us down, all this kind of stuff. Like, we don't like her. Why would Rachel and Mercedes even believe anything that she says? Like, if they are actually friends, and we've seen over the past couple episodes, they hang out after school and stuff. Like, why would they believe that? Like, none of that would happen. If they were friends, they would be like, did Sue tell you that you think I suck? Yeah, she told me the same thing about you, saying about me. Boom, solved. If people would just talk and think rationally, like these two characters probably would, it kind of would have been fun if Rachel and Mercedes teamed up to be like, oh, she's going to try to pit us against each other. We're going to flip it around on her and school her and kind of like lead her on into a plan. That would be kind of fun.
Well, that
what song do you think they would sing at her?
I think they would do something the same as they would do like a diva off and sort of like keep up this like, oh, I hate you for saying this about me kind of thing until they finally reveal that like, we led you into this distraction zone of us being, you know, mad at each other when really something else behind the scenes is going on that like completely thwarted your plan. Something like that.
That'd
because
be fun.
Otherwise, Rachel and Mercedes, it doesn't even make sense because they're laughing at the end of their song, and I'm like,
no,
cool.
that whole thing didn't make sense.
Nothing
the whole
makes
thing doesn't make sense. I didn't like this episode.
You can quote her on
didn't
it.
Make sense.
Do we know Rachel's middle name? This is a serious question because I was not really invested in this plot, but on Rachel's binder, the initials are RBB. Is her middle name ever like revealed?
Is it Barbara?
Barbara. I was just gonna say it might be Barbara.
I hope so.
Oh no.
I didn't look
love
this up
that
and I could have.
again. We're focusing on literally everything.
Everything
except,
else.
Oh, another thing about Rachel. I don't know if it's in this plot line or another. Actually, might be in another. But she has like a to-do list. There's like a shot of it, and
oh yeah.
one of her to-do list items is Celine Dion's birthday. I have to say.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
I do love that. It's a good detail. So they sing "Take Me or Leave Me" from Rent.
Okay. So
Mercedes and Rachel.
I have a lot to say about this. They're singing.
About their second annual Diva Off.
Yes. They're singing a song from Rent, right? And they're singing a song in which one of the characters was originated by Idina Menzel, who plays Shelby Corcoran, Rachel's mom. So, in this world, is there like, does Idina Menzel actually exist, and is she just Shelby's doppelganger?
Oh, I love a good universe break.
With this. Oh.
There's another one. It's saying the same thing.
Okay.
What I love about these curfews is I don't get them.
Why don't you get them?
I don't know.
Oh my god, do you have like the emergency messages shut off on your phone? I think there's a way to do that.
Maybe.
I get Amber Alerts like that too.
Yeah. It scares the shit out of me in the middle of the night sometimes.
Yeah, so they sing "Take Me or Leave Me." We don't know if Idina Menzel exists in this universe.
I'm obsessed
with
that idea, though. Ugh.
Maybe she's Shelby's doppelganger, and Shelby's like, I wish I could be successful like Idina Menzel.
Maybe that's why
she's coaching Glee clubs.
That's why she wasn't successful when she went to Broadway the first time, is because Idina Menzel was already there, and she's like, girl, you look just like me. You're trying to copy me. Get out of here. Go back to Ohio.
It's canon.
She just broke.
It's canon.
It's canon.
We've decided.
Yeah, so it's a fun cover of Take Me or Leave Me.
Oh, I love it. It's on my Glee Glee covers I actually like playlist. Fun fact.
Yeah, it's fun. And then they're like, they make up, their friends are like, oh my gosh, you're so good, and they hug and they laugh.
They make up during the song.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to know the point at which their entire fight is just like, poof,
And before,
gone.
they were both plainly being, oh yeah, no, like, I'm gonna take her down. And it's like, this is a duet that, like, I feel like you would have had to rehearse together. I don't know.
I thought it was cute.
Fun fact, the song
It was...
is actually in the musical a lesbian couple, and they literally break up at the end of the song. So it's kind of a fun twist on the song where they actually like come back together, these two friends who are singing the song.
It's cute when they're hugging and they're all like, what about her? She's amazing.
I love it.
And then Sue's like, where's the hate?
Cute. Not
and
realistic.
Sue's like, that's not the
Super
point
cute.
of Glee Club. And I was like, really? You guys hate on each other all the time. I think that is the point of Glee Club.
Yeah. And as Alyssa pointed out, it is super cute, not realistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then I moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best way to consume Glee. Just move on. So Will takes Sue to the hospital where we find out that he goes to sing songs with children.
No, he
And
does
they can't-
not. He does not do this once a month. I do not believe that for a second.
Me either. I am not buying that bullshit.
This is the first time he's showed
I
up.
think he met that nurse at a bar and he was like, oh, I'm going to bring my coworker here someday to the hospital where you work. That's what I think. I think it was something stupid like that.
How are those two things related?
I think he met the nurse at a bar. This is my canon, right? Head canon.
Yeah.
He met the nurse
Yes.
at a bar and she's like, oh yeah, I work in a children's ward and like we don't have a lot of means to like cheer them up when they're getting treated and stuff. And he was like, oh my god, I have a ukulele and a coworker who hates everything. This is perfect.
Ah, the coworker who hates everything.
Sue.
So he's not doing it for the girl. He's doing it for the kids to cheer them up. What?
I don't know what his motivation is. He's Will Schuester. His motivation in this scene, though, is to teach Sue a lesson, not necessarily to be selfless to these children. His motivation is to, like, prove a point to Sue.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross. He's
Yeah.
using
Okay, well, you guys
children.
you're gonna love this. So at this point, I was like yelling out loud. I was like, I don't believe he does this like once a month or whatever. And Mark was like, who's this guy? And I was like, oh, he's like their teacher. He's kind of a nightmare. And Mark was like, really? Because at this point in the show, with everything that happens, he seems like the kindest, most rational person on the cast.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness!
Mark doesn't have all the context. He
With
doesn't.
this
He
context.
has not seen him sing. What was it? Not Ice Ice Baby, but
The thong song.
the thong song.
Yeah.
He hasn't seen him sing that other really inappropriate song.
Bust a move.
Scantily clad and
Gold
showing body.
digger.
Gold digger. Mark doesn't have all the details, so I understand. His
Yeah, all he has
confusion.
is like letting Sue join the Glee Club to cheer her up, and then that he goes and volunteers to sing with children in the pediatric cancer ward. I'm like, okay, if you only had those two things, I
But-
guess.
I argue, if he did see the beginning of the episode, he does tell someone who supposedly tried to commit suicide with vitamin A gummies that she was a garbage human being. I would say that person's terrible.
That did happen.
It did.
No argument.
Yeah, it is cute to see Jane Lynch sitting there with like the little girl on her lap.
Yeah, she
Okay,
was
those
like,
kids were super
harmonizing.
cute.
Yeah.
The children were adorable.
I didn't want to like the scene because Sue was there, and also like Sue was there because she didn't want to be and she's mean. But like it was actually a really sweet scene.
I did
I
feel
actually
things.
really
It
enjoyed it.
was. They were cute.
This Little Light of Mine is a classic.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This
Beautiful.
little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little... That's all I know.
I'm like, I need to see how long it wants to go.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Ooh,
Thank
killed.
you. That's the rum and coke singing.
Was there a better way to
So-
illustrate this point than children with cancer? Like, was this the? Is this in the
well,
Gleeboot?
Okay, what was the point again? I don't actually remember the point of the scene.
I guess
It was to show Sue that she could make people come back from harder things, right?
Well, yeah, because they did that before. Well, she had that whole monologue of like, you're trying to get me to understand basically like people suffer more than I do, etc. When they did this with Rachel in season 1, where Finn brought her to that guy
Oh, yeah.
who was injured in like a football incident and was then paralyzed, and like
Oh.
he only existed to give her perspective, and I'm like, so they were somewhat meta about that idea because Sue knew it, and then they did it anyway. I don't know, because I don't know why she did it. It didn't make any sense. I don't get
She also like has a
Mm,
sister with Down syndrome that she goes to visit. She has Down syndrome, right? She goes to visit
Mhm.
her like
Yeah.
once a week, but then she calls this the house of sad. Like she's not used to being in these environments where people are going through a lot of hardship.
Right.
Like, did
It's
she
almost
need?
as like it's almost as like her sister doesn't exist, and only in
Yeah.
episodes where she does exist.
I got the impression that she's trying to keep up a reputation.
Like a persona.
Yeah.
Which like I
'Cause
understand.
nobody else knows about her sister, right?
Oh, interesting.
No, she talks about the sister. She mentioned it to Emma in Grilled Cheeses.
Oh yeah.
She
that's true.
mentioned that she had a sister, yeah.
Right.
I wasn't calling Jean it. I was mentioning I meant the fact that she had a sister.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like none of the motivations, like that's why like it's so easy to mark Sue changes motivations on the bingo board, because like she's so up in the air, like there's nothing solid about her plot line.
Wait. You can't say that she changes motivations if she doesn't have any motivations in the first place.
She does have a motivation to destroy the Glee Club. But then that kind of gets all wonky where she's like, actually, no, I want to bring up the Glee Club by giving them a song to sing for their anthem.
Yeah.
assignment. So, like, she definitely
Yeah.
does. And I'm like,
It is
What?
all over the place.
everyone's so
stop.
nebulous in this episode. It's so weird.
Sue comes in to Will's office and is like, your Glee kids don't know how to comprehend because I haven't heard a single anthem.
She's right, though.
It's like,
Accurate.
Yeah, okay, can I just say that when he assigned the episode, I was expecting them, no, when he assigned the
assignment.
I was expecting them to actually explain what an anthem is, because I have a vague notion of what it is.
Brittany did.
She
She
did.
said it's the bottom of an ant's pants.
Yeah.
But then she did
And then-
explain it, but it's also nebulous. It's also very nebulous.
Yeah, well, and then if they sung a bunch of songs that they thought were anthems, but were actually not anthems, now my confusion is greater.
Yeah, 100%. That's another plot line, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We're still on Sue.
Oh god.
So
Oof.
Sue comes up with a song that she wants to sing with the Glee Club. My Chemical Romances sing.
Oh my
That
god.
she sings
Ugh, I
in a
have so
plaid
much.
tracksuit. You have so many notes.
So many
Go
notes
ahead.
on this. Okay, I was a Warped Tour kid. Like I was like kind of a scene kid. I don't know. I was never in the MC army, but I have great respect for those who were. That being said, What were their outfits? I'm gonna start there.
Oh my god.
I have
Why
no
was
idea. That was the first thing I said when they walked out. I was like, why are they wearing plaid?
What?
Why?
It's like a pseudo grunge look, and then they had a bunch of handheld camera shots, and I was dying. I was like, "What is this grunge
bad.
nonsense?"
Well, the
Pseudo
backdrop
grunge.
too.
That's not grunge. That's lumberjack.
That's why I said pseudo
Bottom
grunge.
of them.
Grunge people will wear like flannel plaid with like other stuff like ripped jeans, dark jeans, etc. But like they literally washed it out. Like that's what Glee
The
does
hats.
to this MCR song. They literally like washed it out. Like all the rough edges are gone, and it's just this clean little globe of music with these really. Sue was wearing an all plaid jumpsuit, and
That was actually good.
Do you know what that it was? Plaid pajamas. It was flannel pajamas, and that the costume
put
person
a
just
collar on. You
put
think?
a collar?
Yeah, like
plaid
to make it-
pajamas always have collars.
Huh?
What?
You said it was
Collar?
pajamas.
Yeah. Have you never seen plaid pajamas? They have collars.
I
Like
do have
flannel
plaid pajamas, but I'm talking about like made it look more like a jumpsuit. They're like a jumpsuit collar.
Okay, maybe. And they also added the stripes on the sides.
Uncomfortable.
We talk about the
Yes.
backdrop of the subway stairs that they were in front of for no reason.
That's
Yes.
what MCR stands for.
Okay, speaking of that song, I looked this up because I remember I very much remember when Glee covered MCR and like MySpace was buzzing about it. It was a huge thing because everyone was like, "Oh, MCR sold out." But Gerard Way let them use the song because it's about like anti-capitalism, and he thought it would be funny if Glee, like Fox Primetime,
Yes.
sang this song about how much they all suck.
That's amazing.
That's actually really great. I love it.
This may be controversial, but I love this Glee cover.
I do
It's one of
too.
my favorite Glee covers.
I think
It
I
was
don't.
a fun song.
Yes, I like it as a
It was
song.
weird.
I don't know if I like it as a cover because I do like the original song. But I think in terms of like a song for Glee, the way they did it is actually kind of fun. There's a lot of like energy to it. Yeah, I also really
Yeah.
like it. It's also on my playlist. I like it.
The performance definitely felt like an anthem. There was lots of energy.
Okay, can someone actually please explain to me what an anthem is? I
No.
did not understand.
I'm not going to
No.
explain.
No, I want to know.
I want to talk about how this song sold more on iTunes than the original.
That hurts me.
I know that does hurt, but it makes sense because Glee is all about the iTunes singles money. They're all about the iTunes money.
That 99 cents.
Do you remember when songs were 99 cents? I miss those days. I don't buy music anymore.
I had LimeWire. Songs were never 99 cents.
Oh, rebel.
Mhm.
I also had LimeWire, and then like my mom's computer broke after having used it for so long, and I thought it was because of LimeWire. I think there was just like a shortage in our electric, but ever since then, I like completely like shunned LimeWire, and then LimeWire shut down.
Rip.
I never bought songs on iTunes. I always just used Pandora, and then I use Spotify, but I still use Pandora. It's a great way to to find new music. Just saying.
Can I interject
Yeah.
Mark's comment on this song was, what does it say about Sue that she attempted suicide and then selected this My Chemical Romance song specifically to perform with the Glee Club? Like, is she okay?
Oh.
The answer is no.
She's not okay. I don't know if she ever will be.
I also don't know how to define an anthem. That's why I'm not gonna.
It's a health
This
insurance
is
company.
in. I don't know if we want to talk about it in this plot line.
Okay,
but,
we
like,
can come back to it.
I don't know where it
No,
even goes though, because this is really the place where Sue resides. So like this anthem, he says, is like a big, powerful song, essentially that conveys a message. Like that's what I got from his explanation, and I'm like, okay, sure. But like,
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Anthem.
there you go. But like, Lauren Zeises explains a little bit different. I guess we can like get to it then, because she takes it as like a national anthem. She's like, if I owned a country, this would be a national anthem. So it's like something you stand for, I guess.
I thought it was like it's like
Interesting.
uplifting a specific like group of people, whether that's a group of people who are just happening to be at the same like place or who stand for the same thing.
Clearly, we all very closely watched this episode.
I mean, to be honest, do any of us know what an anthem is?
Pocket full of sunshine.
What?
Seconded.
That's an anthem?
I just decided it is.
Canon.
Okay, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out like the definition of an anthem.
Google is showing us Demi Lovato's "Confident" party rock anthem.
Again,
Come to my window. Come to my window by Melissa Etheridge. Don't stop believing.
I looked up
Flawless.
Anthem and I got Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Woman by Kesha. Follow Your Arrow, Casey Musgraves. Born This Way, Lady Gaga.
Oh.
So I think it just has to be inspiring. That's what I'm getting.
That's it.
Beautiful by
Like-
Queen Latifah.
It has to be uplifting.
Let It Go.
Really?
What?
I stand by what I said.
I
I could-
honestly, yeah, okay. We're still on the
I
same plot
don't
line.
know. I don't know.
We're still
No one understands exactly what an anthem is.
Let's-
That's what I am getting from
Let's
this.
just get to the end of the Sue plot line, because this is honestly like the least of my worries.
So Sue, after this, they're gonna do My Chemical Romance at regionals, but Sue then reveals that she has become the coach of Oral Intensity to take down Glee Club, and she thanks Will for getting her mojo back, but she'll see him at regionals. Yeah, and that's Sue's plot.
Are we talking
She's coaching at
about
Glee Club now.
what happened with Rachel at the end of the episode in like a separate plot line?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Rachel plot. Our girl Rach.
Rach.
Barbara Berry.
I think that is her. I'm sure it's revealed later on, but if you saw that it was RBB, it's got to be Barbara.
I believe you.
Yeah, I bet money.
Canon.
All right. Let's touch on Puck and Lauren Zeises quickly.
Let's touch on luck. Are you okay?
I choked on my drink.
She almost vomited because she thought of Puck and Lauren Zeises.
It was good timing.
Honestly-
Good timing.
Honestly, like, not much of a change from last episode when literally Lauren was like, you made me feel like shit. And also she's like stringing him along. But like, he literally didn't learn anything about the fact that like he made her feel like shit about how she looked. And that's basically the main thing I took away from this.
She says that she has a proposal for him. So he watches her wrestle. And then he asks her if dudes get erections when they wrestle her. She doesn't respond, so thank you. She's like, I want to sing a solo in Glee Club, but I'm nervous. I want to be really good, at least as good as Barry. And I just get like nervous. And Puck is like, what I do is I imagine everyone in their underwear. It's not a sex thing. It just makes the audience more vulnerable than you. And so Lauren sings.
And it's a
I Know.
groundbreaking revelation because no one has
Can I
ever
just-
told anyone else that to imagine
On
the
TV.
audience in their underwear.
I want to interject here that Lauren, when she was performing at what, regionals?
Yeah.
Was
Or
like-
sectionals.
Sectionals?
Was in front of a crowd.
Literally said, she was in front of a
You
crowd.
wrote that too.
And then someone said, don't worry, you don't have to be nervous. And she's like, you know what? I'm not nervous. You know why? Because Glee
It's stupid
is
or something
stupid.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why all of a sudden it matters to her.
Again,
And
every
why she's
episode
nervous.
of Glee is its own universe where nothing.
I can't handle it.
Me either. I literally wrote 7 notes about it.
So she sings "I Know What Boys Like Me" with Brittany and Tina as her backup dancers. And she imagines everyone in their underwear because Puck mouths underwear. And then
is that what he mouthed?
Yeah.
I thought he
Yeah.
mouthed, "Are you okay?" He's not very good at mouthing. What's the word for
Maybe
that?
you're just really bad at lip reading.
Lip reading. Maybe. That's possible.
Hannah's bad at lip reading.
Wow. Make fun of me about it. No, like...
Drag me.
Drag me. No, like... So, that song was where I marked... I crawl out of my sin, because honestly, there was a lot up to that point that I could tolerate because Glee has prepared me for that. But then I also wrote a song that is very inappropriate for teens, because, like, it is... I understand it as an anthem for her being like, I'm hot, I think I'm hot, I know I'm hot, other people think I'm hot. That's great. But it was also very, like, physically aggressive with, like, she shoved Artie into her chest, and, like,
Yeah.
he, like, went to kiss Puckerman and then didn't, and then Shu just let it all happen, and I was like, yeah, that's about par for the course.
Yeah,
It was all very
not
uncomfy.
the best.
And I like that song. It's a fun song because it's an older song too. And it's,
You know,
like,
when she
fun.
first did this, I was like, I thought they were gonna set her up for success. Like, I thought she was gonna be amazing and belt it out. I did not realize that that's what her voice sounded like. And at first, I was like, oh, this is such a train wreck. But then, you know what? I changed my mind. I liked it. I thought it was a really good song for her because, like, the actress, whose name I do not know, brought so much personality to it. And I thought if she would have just sang it, it would have been good. It was everyone in their underwear that really stressed me out. Except for Sam, who can sit there shirtless all day. I'm okay with that.
I love that either the show or Lauren Zeisses or both thinks that Quinn, her undergarments are
It's like wedding night.
Yes, it's like a weird old lady negligee, but not a negligee. I don't even, like an old lady nightgown.
It's a nightgown, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely felt more like pajamas.
Those
because
are
Finn
the
was in
only
like a
two
Power
people.
Rangers t-shirt.
Those are the only two people I saw in their underwear. I didn't see
Did you
anyone
see
else.
Sue?
No.
She was wearing like a dominatrix outfit with like a Catwoman headpiece.
Oh my god, of course she was.
I didn't see that at all. How did I miss that?
And Sue was wearing a vest. I paused this, okay? I needed a
That's
second.
why.
I thought it was interesting how like I thought it was through the eyes of Lauren and how she views each Glee Club member.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of scared of Sue. She thinks Quinn's like a real like prude, and then she thinks Finn is like a child because he's wearing like Power Rangers.
I wanna think piece. I wanna like a video essay.
All right, I'll have that.
Analyzing the Glee Club through Lauren Icy's eyes. Yes, have it on my desk by Tuesday.
This essay, I will.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's basically that plot.
yeah, like I really wanted to like her song. It just like everything was just so uncomfy with the fact that like these are teenagers and Shu's just kind of like letting them have these very like adult themes happening. I just don't know how I feel about it.
Even Brittany and Tina were quite raunchy as moves.
I did love though when Lauren like throws them to the ground. I did think that was
that was
funny.
great.
She got like her
It was
wrestling
good.
moves again. Seeing her wrestle though was honestly really cool. I think in the Gleeboot it would be really fun if we saw more of like the diversity of other people's like extracurriculars. So like if someone like Lauren was on the wrestling team, it would be kind of cool to see her in her element there more often. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun. I know nothing about
Kicked
wrestling.
ass. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you want to do the glove quadrangle next?
Yes.
Quadrangle is not a thing.
Well, because it's not a love triangle, and there are 4 points. I understand quadrangle.
Yeah.
You can call it a love square? I don't like that.
Why? No, there's a different.
Quadrilateral.
Yes, it's a love quadrilateral.
But that's not quite as, like, punchy.
Yeah.
But it's accurate.
Who cares about accuracy? This is Glee.
The people don't want accuracy.
I want accuracy. The people can go somewhere else.
Oh, you heard that, guys. Go wherever you want.
Only come here if you want accuracy. No, don't do that.
Yeah, no, we
We're
don't
not.
fact check anything.
We're not accurate.
Or we fact check on air and it's probably wrong.
Or I text you and fact check you. Like, a
True,
week later.
and then it gets published 10 episodes later.
Weird help.
So Quinn lied to Sam and said that she got mono because Finn almost choked on a gumball and she did mouth to mouth and pulled the gumball out
With her tongue.
with her tongue.
Yeah. And he believed it, hook, line, and sinker. And I was like, Sam, no.
I wanted to believe it so bad.
It was like almost the same as when Quinn told Finn how exactly she got pregnant.
Yes.
This is the second week in a row that she has gaslit Sam.
It's so sad. I was just watching this whole plot line and I was so sad for him.
So Allyssa, her boyfriend is Sam Evans. So she's very connected to this golden retriever boy.
Yes, he's a good boy.
He wants to take her to Color Me Mine.
Which, okay, Color Me Mine does not exist in Ohio.
Not true.
It is only
Not
in Southern
true.
California.
I looked
Wait, what?
up. I looked it up. Okay, because I knew Color Me Mine was in Ohio because there's one 25 minutes from my house. That being said, Lima, the closest Color Me Mine to Lima is in Dublin, Ohio. So theoretically, Sam is driving in 1 hour and 24 minutes there and back to paint pottery.
Yes.
Oh my
You know where
goodness.
Dublin is? Dublin is near Columbus, which is also near Westerville, which is where Dalton Academy
Kurt goes
is.
to school. Dalton.
Oh
Also,
my gosh.
Dublin, I think that's where a cohort member of ours was from, if I remember correctly.
I don't think so.
You don't think he was from Dublin?
There's an Irish festival there that we talked about, but I don't think he's from Dublin.
Oh, okay. I thought that's where he was from. Anyway, yeah.
I definitely thought Coloring Me Mine was only SoCal.
But they have equivalent things. Like, I remember going to, paint pottery things.
Well, yeah, but you can't just use Color Me Mine as a name if it's only in Southern California.
I bet
This is an
they
accuracy
Googled
thing.
I bet they literally Googled it while they were writing it, and someone was like, wait a second, this is
for
only in
sure.
Southern California. And someone was like, au contraire.
That
Au
someone
contraire, mon
was Albert
frere.
It
Einstein.
is
I wonder if
exactly an hour and a half away from Lima, Ohio. Well, that's too far. It's okay. We already have Kurt driving there back and forth every day to school.
So it is a national chain,
It's like a
but
franchise.
it cannot be. Yeah, it can't be as common. There's Color Me
I've
Mines
never
everywhere
heard of
here.
that. Yeah. So, yeah.
There we go.
That's my
Moving
2
on.
cents. I've never heard of it.
So Quinn is basically kind of trying to lead both Sam and Finn, not on, but
Yeah,
sort of
that's what she's doing. She's keeping
Yeah,
them
'cause-
both on the hook, so to speak.
because he wants to go to Color Me Mine on Friday, and Finn wants to go check out the ice rink and do ice bumper cars.
Which sounds fun.
Yeah, they both sound like fun
Honestly,
dates.
though.
I'd
Okay,
go on them.
honestly, yeah. Well, when Sam said that he wanted to go to Color Me Mine, Quinn was just like, "What? Why would you want to do that?"
Yeah,
It was,
she's like, "Are you
she
serious?"
snubbed it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "What? That actually sounds really fun. Why is that? What were you expecting?"
I don't know about Quinn sometimes.
She is so pretty though. And this episode I was watching her, I was
They
like,
made her wear so many dumb hats, though.
She
Several
did
dumb
wear a
hats.
dumb
going.
hat. I do remember it. It was like a beret,
I also-
right?
With a pom pom.
Oh, yes.
It was
I
bad.
also don't like that thing that she does where she like goes up really close to the guy's ear and whispers
Don't like it.
in her sexy voice.
I don't like it.
It makes me super uncomfortable.
Why does it make you uncomfortable?
Because she's trying to be sexy in the middle of the school.
And she's like 16.
Yeah.
That's what's uncomfy for me. It's like I'm watching a 16-year-old do that, and it's like if I knew she was like an adult, if she's like, okay, she's like in her 20s, whatever, that would be something I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's, I get it. But because I'm like, oh my god, she's a teenager, I'm like, ooh, I don't like watching this. It's like a private moment. I felt like I was invading her space.
And her voice changes. Like, you can tell.
She's
I
already
don't know.
breathy.
It's
and
really
gets
weird.
breathier.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
works for Quinn. I think it's her thing.
Uncomfortable
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
If we don't talk about
Uh.
Justin Bieber soon, I'm gonna lose it. You guys are done. I have been waiting so patiently.
So Sam wants to win Quinn back, basically, and he's like, my dad always said there are two ways to win a girl back: hunting and rock and roll. And who's more rock and roll than Justin Bieber? No
Who
one.
hunts more than
That's-
Justin Bieber? No one.
Okay, honestly, you know, I've always wanted to learn how to hunt. Always. No one in my family can teach me because they don't know. But if there's anyone out there who wants to teach me how to hunt, don't message me because I just realized how terrible this idea was.
Alyssa's gonna go out in the woods with a Gleeboot listener, because Glee fans and hunters often intersect.
Yeah, it's a very, very slim portion of the Venn diagram, but they do exist.
And they're gonna just take Alyssa out into the wilderness
I just
and show her how to hunt.
It's just a dumb idea. Never mind. Never mind.
This was one of those things where I was like, man, on the next Glee bingo board, we need to have Sam says something dumb, because this is one of those things where I'm like, literally neither of those things are Justin Bieber, and I don't understand why that's your segue.
Oh,
And I
Justin
really
Bieber
wanted
is
that
rock
to be
and roll.
a Glee boot or a Glee bingo board spot.
Okay, I need Alyssa's corner really quick. Alyssa's corner about Justin Bieber.
I was gonna say, what do you want to
Okay.
Yeah,
know?
I'm sorry. I didn't pronounce it correctly. So I was an unironic Justin Bieber fan. I don't know if I still am. I feel like I'm old, but he's also exactly 23 days older than me. I
Weird
really liked
that you
him,
know
like
that.
in high school. Yeah, I love Justin Bieber. Like, I went and saw Never Say Never in the theaters, and I cried so hard. I loved him. Okay, I had a Justin Bieber poster in my dorm room in college that drove my roommate crazy. She wanted to rip it down every day. I was such a big fan. So I remember really loving this episode, and especially Sam's cover of Baby.
So wait, what year of college was this? Freshman year?
I think this episode came out in 2011, so I was like a fan at that point. But like,
Wait, so how old is Justin Bieber?
he's 26.
What?
In
He's
2011,
our age?
we were
Yeah.
both, what, 16, 17?
Dang, I had no idea we were so close in age.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I think like he looked a lot younger when he became famous. Because I also was a fan when I was in like early high school. Because I did actually really like some of his early stuff. Like it's fun, like poppy stuff. Did not care for any of the covers in this episode though. But
Oof.
he did like look really, really young. He looked like he was 12 when he was probably like 14 or 15. Yeah, I actually had posters in my bedroom when I was in high school from like those like J14 magazines and stuff like
Yes.
that. So like I also was a fan like when he like first started. So I like these songs. Like I haven't listened to them in years. And they're like fun poppy songs. But
So you were both believers.
Absolutely.
I don't think I was quite as crazy as some
Hannah!
people were.
Yeah,
No,
Except that you were a believer.
same.
Believe.
I don't think because like I never saw that was it Never Say Never? Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
So I never saw that. like I really just like only listened to the music, and I watched him every time he was on Ellen. But like, yeah, like I wasn't super into him like a lot of other people were. Like when like Sam is performing at that bat mitzvah, all those girls like go crazy. Like, I didn't really have that. That was reserved for the Jonas Brothers. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Oh
equal
my
love.
goodness.
But yes.
I don't think I fangirled over anything.
Oh. But yeah. So,
Except maybe anime, but that is an entirely different podcast.
Yes,
and
it is.
doesn't have anything to do with music.
so yeah, like I didn't really like I understood it because I remember the hype of Beliebers, but that's what actually made this episode so old. Is that like Justin Bieber's completely different now. His fan base I don't think is quite the same. It's very, very dated in a weird way, and it's not even that old. I just thought that was all like all this Justin Bieber stuff was so interesting. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
I actually forgot about the Justin Bieber hair, and then immediately remembered.
Yes.
But I didn't know that the hoodie thing was a Bieber thing.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
didn't
The purple
either.
hoodie with the white strings. He
Oh,
also
was
that,
used to
like,
wear long sleeve shirts with a little crystal heart on the sleeve because he always wears heart on his sleeve.
Ugh,
It's cute.
awful. So wait, was
Do you remember?
really, so like the hoodie was really a thing? I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember the hair, but I don't remember the hoodie thing.
All right, you did not pass the Belieber vibe check. Never
Well, there
mind,
you
I believe
go.
you.
I told you.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he wrote after visiting Anne Frank's house that
Yes.
she would have been a believer?
Of course I do.
Oh my goodness.
How can I forget that? That's iconic.
Yeah. So Sam has an equally iconic line of "Who's more rock and roll than Justin Bieber? No one." And so he he has a one-man band, the Justin Bieber Experience.
Peak comedy. Calling any cover band the blank experience is so funny to me.
You're right. It's good.
It's really good.
And he sings "Baby" to the Glee Club in a bop. I crossed off. They sing a bop.
I have
Me
a
too.
controversial thing. So, like, Santana at the end of the song literally is like cooling herself off and has her hair up. There's literally like a reaction gift to that everywhere on Tumblr. I did not know it was from this episode, and now the context is different. Anytime I see it, I just don't know how I'm gonna feel about it.
I'm with
To
Santana.
be completely honest, I don't understand why all of the girls specifically were totally into it.
I don't either.
Okay,
Because it's supposed to be Bieber, but I mean, I would get it if Sam was being Sam, but Sam's trying to be a different person.
No, Tina sums it up when she says, this is actually like a really good song. I was like, yes, she's right, first off. Like,
yeah, but you're not gonna like faint because it's a really good song.
Some people
No.
do.
This is Glee. Everything's heightened.
Everything's heightened and
Not even
really
that, like-
offensive sexually. I felt offended for my gender.
Yeah, Glee has a very binary way of having the gender sex.
But the other thing is that, like, it's not even just heightened in Glee. Like, there were girls who would faint whenever they would see or hear his music sometimes. Like that was actually a thing. Like, that's why they called it Bieber fever. Is like,
Are you kidding me?
No.
That happened?
yeah, like, people would...
of course it happened.
What the hell?
Yeah, people would, like, faint if they ever saw him to, like, get autographs or anything. Like, things that would happen. That's why
I
they
cried
called
at
it...
his concert.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely, real tears at his
Oof.
concert. It was beautiful.
Okay, honestly, being starstruck is a thing because I don't think I would ever faint, but I did meet the guy who's in charge of the burger place.
Mark Wahlberg. Yes.
Yes,
Oh
Wahlberg.
my
Mark
god.
He
Wahlberg.
is
Mark
not his
Wahlberg.
name.
He's a pretty famous actor. I can't remember anybody's name, so that's on par. But I didn't know what to say to him, and I had a camera in my face, so
Were you
it was all
ever
very...
featured on the show?
I don't know, I never never watched it.
We should go back and find it and see if you
Yeah.
were.
We should not do that.
We should.
No.
No.
Secretly famous. Yes, Alyssa, we need to know this information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I was in the show, I did not get
It would be
paid.
really funny if it was just like, so, what do you do here in Boston? It's just Alyssa going, like the droppings from her burger. And it's like, all right,
Honestly,
then.
that was the worst question he could have asked, because I was going to school for screenwriting and I was like, oh shit, no.
Yeah, like that's something is like if you are like a screenwriting student or a screenwriter and someone famous is like, oh, like what do you do? Like it's probably if you're like self-aware enough to know that like, oh, being like, oh yeah, I'm a screenwriter is kind of awkward because you don't want to get into those conversations where it's like, oh, okay, and they're gonna be like afraid you're gonna pitch them an idea and trying to
Yeah,
like
well,
get a
to be fair,
job.
he did tell me that I could pitch him an idea anytime.
Aw.
Pretty sure that's not, like, he's never gonna remember that. He said that. The only thing I remember, like, specifically about the interaction was that he looked so tired.
Yeah.
And I just wanted him to take a nap.
Okay, so fun fact, really quick tangent. I guess you could call this a Hannah's Corner, but it's going to be all about Mark Wahlberg. So I did remember reading this like quick article about Mark Wahlberg's day. He wakes up at like 5 a.m. every day. He works out for like 2 hours. He does like a bunch of like reading scripts and like agent stuff, all that. He does all of his like acting stuff, preparing for roles, and he fits in time to spend time with his family. But he wakes up at 5 a.m. and then goes to bed at like midnight. And it's like,
That's insane.
Yeah.
No wonder he looks tired.
Yeah.
so I remember reading about like his day being so crazy, but like how wholesome that he tries to fit in time for his family. So,
Yeah, he told me that they went to go see Moana.
oh, that's cool.
And that was my default answer. He asked me what I thought the best script was, and I was like, of all time? He said, no, this year. And I totally blanked
Oh my god.
and said Moana, because that's what we just went to go see. It was a terrible, terrible thing. The whole thing was awful.
Also,
I want in the Gleeboot, Alyssa will star in an episode, and we'll have Mark Wahlberg star, and someone is going to cover How Far I'll Go. Mark Wahlberg is going to cover How Far I'll Go.
Also, I just got an update from my correspondent / boyfriend who literally just said Mark has 3 nipples. So Mark Wahlberg has 3 nipples.
Harry Styles has 4.
What?
Wow, it's not a competition.
Do better, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, apparently he has 3 nipples. Like he has like a 3rd nipple. That's a thing that happens.
Interesting.
So yeah, another fun fact in the Hannah's Corner / Mark Wahlberg corner.
So, Sam sings Baby. It's a bop. The girls like it, and then Finn is like, why do you think that's cool? And Quinn is like, he was just so shameless up there.
He's an
it was kind of
artist.
sexy. He's an artist.
Ugh.
He's like, that's why he's going to take you to Color Me Mine.
Well, this is the moment that she says that. No, this is not the moment she decides that she's going with him.
Now she decides she's going to Color Me Mine with Sam after the other boys, Mike Chang, Puck, and Artie, want to join the Justin Bieber experience.
And
Artie says something about Valentine's Day.
yeah, there's like a post Valentine's Day lull where like they're hopped up on candy and all those lovey-dovey feelings, and then the boys have to do something to get action again.
They're being women.
Yes.
This is where we crossed off Artie says something sexist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couple things. One, when they cut to like Mike and Tina in the hallway when they're doing like their like cut to whatever, she's playing Angry Birds, and I'm like, oh, this is an old episode.
Dated.
And then also Puck says something really terrible where he's like, I think it was Finn or someone was like, why do you want to do this so badly? And he's like, I'll do anything to get into Lauren's enormous pants or something like that. And I was like, I hate you. You learned nothing. That's awful. There you
He
go.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is a flash to Mike and Tina making out in the hallway, and she's playing Angry Birds while they're making out. And he's like, do you want to see my abs? And she's like,
I guess.
if you want,
Yeah.
I guess.
Which is like,
So
I don't understand.
But then we get that gratuitous abs shot, baby. That's what I'm here for.
True.
Yeah, so then they join the Justin Bieber experience, and they sing. What song do they sing?
Somebody to Love.
It's
Yeah.
Somebody Love. Thank you.
Which is actually a really cool song. Like, they also like mimic the video in the enormous production value of it.
Okay, I was wondering if that was actually a callback to the
Yeah,
video,
a little
because
bit.
I've never seen it, but it feels like
Yeah.
something that would have been a Justin Bieber video.
Some of the choreography, I think, but like with the lights and all the shadows, the spotlights and stuff, that's very kind of reminiscent of the music video, because I remember Usher being in that music video. It's a pretty cool music video. But yeah, I didn't like any of the Bieber numbers, but I also like kept thinking the whole time that like the guy who plays Artie was in a boy band before, and I'm like, oh, this is like back to his boy band days.
And Puck has Bieber hair because Sam's like, we gotta do something about your Peppermint's hair, and he has Bieber hair. How do you feel about that hair again, Hannah?
It was awful.
It was so bad. Wikipedia said it was attached to his hood.
It was great. Okay, can I just say how annoyed I was that all of the boys kept flipping their bangs?
That was a
It
thing.
pissed me off.
That's Do you not remember when people...
No, I remember it, and it pissed me off back then too.
Every time, like,
it's consistent.
I remember in high school, like when we were like working on group projects, and these boys would just like touch their hair and like flick their hair constantly, and I wanted to slap them in the face.
Hannah, you and I are in the same place.
I got straight across bangs in 10th grade, and I did not touch my hair nearly as much. So like there is no need to do that. Like, no need. Just stop. Anyway, that was like 7 years ago. 8 years ago? What year is it? I don't even know.
2020.
Oh,
I
yes.
Forget.
The year of hindsight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But Puck doesn't have his fake hair during the number.
Which is
no, it was the continuity error. Okay.
No, Alyssa.
Really?
Alyssa, didn't you say it was attached to his hood?
Yeah, it was on the hood.
That's what I thought.
They pinned it. It was on Wikipedia or something.
Yeah, I thought it was.
That's what I figured they did.
And I was like, that is oddly clever, but also stupid at the same time. I don't know whether to clap or to just be in disgust.
Clap in disgust. Well done.
Thank you.
You know, I think they botched this cover, but I don't have a good reason why. The most interesting thing I have to say about this is that when Mark watched it, he said, "Is the guy in the wheelchair actually like disabled?" And I said, "Oh no, he's not." And he said, "Oh, I can tell from this scene." And I was like, "Huh, interesting."
Yeah, there's a lot of Glee lore about how like some scenes had to be reshot because Kevin McHale, right? That's his name, Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
Who plays Artie, would like tap his toes or like move his feet or legs. So that's like a little thing that would happen. But yeah, there's something about Justin Bieber's voice from early on where it's like kind of high pitched and very boyish that kind of gives some of those songs like its charm. Where like I think Sam captures that in the baby one pretty well, but when he's with the group, I don't think it's quite the same. It's just
that must be it. I remember watching Glee and having to decide. It was very important to decide if Sam was hot because I watched it with my mom, and we always had to decide like, are the boys hot or not, as you do with your mom. And like Sam was always back and forth. Like when I was watching this and Baby came on, I was like, oh yes, Cord Overstreet is hot. Like I remember. And then Somebody to Love came on, and I was like, ugh, the lighting, ugh, gross. I did not like it.
I would recommend people watch the music video for that because there's stuff they do with lighting that they're definitely mimicking in this.
Was
not well.
the powder mimicked?
I actually don't know. I feel like that was a reference to LeBron James because he did that with Chalk a lot, and I don't know. I don't know what that was about. I don't remember that.
Whatever it was bad.
Yeah. And also,
but it worked for Quinn.
Finn was really like grossed out and also like confused, and I was like, I'm with you, Finn. I don't understand what's happening either, honey.
That wasn't my... Okay, so when I was watching the episode, my exact words were, Finn's face right now is my face at this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Finn's grossed out, but Quinn likes it, so she decides to go to Color Me Mine with Sam. And she tells Finn she's not available, and she whispers in his ear, like, it really turned me on, like Sam's performance.
I'm uncomfortable.
And
you see,
Santana...
Here's the thing about that. If that was to Sam, if being like, she was like, hey, I really liked your performance. He was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah. And then went up to his ear, was like, it really kind of turned me on. That would be something I understand, because she's like being flirty with the person that she's with. But because she did it to Finn, with whom she may or may not be cheating on Sam with, it's very nebulous. It really made me uncomfortable. I think maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Because she's, I don't know, trying to be sexy with other people at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
if she was literally like, no, I'm choosing Sam, why would she be flirty like that to Finn?
Exactly.
Sam makes a comment to Finn at one point, why are you trying to pick up on other guys' girlfriends? Because when Finn's like, I'm going to spend my time not working on songs designed for 12-year-olds. And he's like, how come you're hitting on her then? Oh, then you won't have time to hit on anybody, guys. Yeah. You won't have time to hit on any other guy's girlfriends. And he's like, she saved my life. So it's like a
and then
that
he
both
like
Finn and Quinn have.
smirks.
Ugh,
Finn
hated
was a
it.
douchebag in this episode to
Yeah, it was
Sam.
awful.
And also in general, like when he like went up to Quinn in the choir room, was like, hey, so like Friday or Saturday night, whichever, we're gonna do this, and he like put his arm around her. I didn't like that. But yeah, no, like, which clearly means that like Sam knows something's going on and he's like ignoring it, which makes this whole thing even sadder. Like he's just actively ignoring the signs, but like sometimes it'll slip out and be like, why are you trying to steal other people's girls, kind of thing. Yeah, poor Sam.
Yeah.
Santana is like, hey, meet me in the library to talk. And it cuts and he's doing his impressions of James Earl Jones. And
like, it's kind of not bad. Like, I can hear it.
Yeah.
But then Santana's like, that's offensive. Who did
he shot Martin
shot
Luther
MLK?
King.
I was like, oh my god, Santana.
And Santana is like, I offer my services as a mistress because every time you open your mouth to do an impression or to moisten an enormous stamp for a lazy giant, the school gets closer to realizing you're a huge dork. And he's like, oh, I'm with Quinn. And she's like, Quinn's cheating on you with Finn. And he's like, no, she's not. She told me. And he's like, you're just believing the lie because you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's very true.
Very true. So then Quinn is all like, oh, so are we on for Color Me Mine? And Sam's like, no, because we're not dating anymore. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, Santana told me that you've been... he says like goodbye in Navi. And he's like, Santana told me to stop speaking in Navi. And she's like, why is Santana telling you things? And he's like, since we started going out.
That was the only thing I was like disappointed in Sam for, was not breaking up with his girlfriend before he officially went out with someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
No, that makes it more dramatic. I was here for it.
It does make it more dramatic, but it's also like Sam is perfect golden retriever boy. Yeah. I get both sides.
I would like to take a step back to Santana also saying that she was giving Sam visitation rights to the set of rambunctious twins that live on her ribcage because it made Mark scream while he was getting more pizza from the kitchen.
Wait, what did he say? He screamed?
He was like, what is this show? Listen, Santana's lines are the kind of creative writing I wish I could deliver to my job every day.
I'm sure they would love a line about if you had to do like bras or something. You're talking about like protect your rambunctious twins on your chest. They would love it.
That's the dream.
So that is the end of... So if they're in Glee Club, Quinn's all over... Or Sam and Santana are all over each other. And Quinn's looking sad. And everyone's like, when did that happen?
It is really sad because, honestly, Santana's all over Sam, but he doesn't seem that into it.
Yeah, he's just kind of there, and she's got her legs draped over him.
You know, my
Mhm.
impression of that scene was that was the kind of thing I lived for in high school when you show up to fourth period and everything's status quo, and then you go to fifth period and two people are hanging all over each other, and it is, whoa, when did that happen? And then you have to dissect and analyze the whole situation. That's the drama I needed, at 16.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Alyssa's a Tina.
Elissa.
Alyssa's a Tina. I get that vibe. Because that's what Tina's like, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, I would need to know everything.
I'm just glad Jacob Ben Israel didn't actually show up in person in this episode. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
He was mentioned, and then this kind of idea of like Sam and Santana getting together, Sam Tana, if you will.
I will.
I feel like that would be very Jacob Ben Israel. I'm just thankful he was not in the episode.
Like, we didn't get Darren Criss, but we also didn't get Jacob and Israel, so evens out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have one more storyline to go over. That is Rachel and Brittany. So Rachel pays Brittany. It is funny.
This is probably one of my favorite storylines thus far. It was just enjoyable from beginning to end, honestly.
I
Rachel
did not
pays-
agree. Go ahead, Cullen,
Really?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I did not.
Okay, Cullen, please continue.
Rachel pays Brittany part of her allowance to wear her clothes and to make them like a fashion trend, but she starts wearing the leg warmers on her arms because her arms got cold because no one ever taught her to read a calendar. She thought it was summer.
So she wore a tank top.
So she's wearing the leg warmers on her arms, and they become like a trend where everyone wears leg warmers on their arms.
Even Quinn. I actually wrote that down. I was like, I'm surprised Quinn even jumped on the bandwagon for that.
But it was a hilarious running gag that everyone was doing it for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So that it basically goes on from there with like, then she starts wearing Rachel's like signature like penny loafers and tights and
Rachel comes up to her and she's like, no, you're just gonna start wearing my clothes. Hurry up. Kids are as close as at 8.
Okay, what was Rachel's like name for her look? It was sexy schoolgirl librarian chic.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Because Rachel is trying to stage a comeback after her relationship with Finn ended. She's trying to.
Oh, that's what it was about? I could not figure out why she wanted to make a comeback.
It was-
because I couldn't figure out what she was making a comeback from.
Yeah, it was kind of, again, all of this was very nebulous. It's like they're trying to bank on the fact that everyone remembers sort of like what went on the past couple episodes. Like, honestly, the past couple episodes, not even just the last episode, to like understand why she's doing this. Because
When we're not even...
it took to like
Sorry?
the end of the episode for me to kind of realize, or no, did she mention something about like, I'm doing a comeback because?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay, because that's what I was looking for in the episode, for her to be like, I'm doing this because, but it wasn't really till the end that I was like, oh, this whole Finn stuff, got it.
I didn't even get it at the end of the episode because I don't associate fashion comebacks with breakups.
Well, she said she
True.
was taking like a break from boys and focusing on herself. She's like gonna
Yeah.
make a comeback.
I don't associate fashion with
I
self.
think I missed that because I was so focused on the fact that Rachel was wearing like a plaid poncho, and I was obsessed with it.
Yeah. So then Brittany wears her like sweater with like a skirt and tights,
And
then
ascot kind of
an
thing.
and so Quinn and Santana are both wearing it, and Santana's like, I feel hot and smart. I feel like Michelle Obama.
Yeah, and Tina comes up and they have like a bonding moment, which is super rare. Like, I don't think I've ever seen those three characters interact as one unit.
And then Rachel's like, oh, like, did Brittany say who you were copying? And they're like, oh no, Brittany made it up herself. Like, we're copying Brittany. And Rachel's like, no, that's my idea. Like, I paid Brittany part of my allowance. So she would dress like me. You're copying me. And they're like, you're such a terrible liar, Rachel. I can't believe you would take this away from poor Brittany.
Yeah, and then I think Tina or someone was like, who would wear a reindeer sweater? And she's like, all of you. And they're like, no, this is a carousel horse.
It was great.
I thought this was delightful to watch. I don't know why.
They were being really mean, though.
I think honestly it was just like so like minimal in terms of like it was so simple, and it was also like there was no stakes, and it was just so
that's
easy
true.
to watch. The rest
Rachel's
of it was so
feelings
nebulous.
were at stake. I feel like Brittany was
And her
so
allowance.
mean. Brittany is like, I remember her being such a fun and delightful character, and when she told Rachel that like she's not a trendsetter in that whole monologue, that was like Santana energy. Like that was genuinely mean. It made Mark say, quote unquote, what's her problem?
Brittany
Now you're right. Brittany doesn't typically have that sort of like strong stance.
Not true. Not necessarily true, because in the Brittany episode, she literally like finds out how awesome she is as a person through Britney Spears, and she has since carried a little bit of that energy through the rest of the season. Like she's a couple times been like, I know I'm better than all of you guys and more talented than all of you guys. And this was just kind of like an elevated version of that, where she's like, I have to go do an interview with Teen Vogue. And I was like, who is Brittany? I can't even. This is hilarious. I
think she finds out her worth in the Brittany episode, but I don't agree that it was really carried out well throughout the rest of the episodes after that.
It's really small nuggets like this. Like this is just one of those other nuggets where it just happens.
But all of the other nuggets are like dancing based. And I don't know.
I feel like there's a difference. There's a difference between being confident and being mean. Like this just felt mean.
Well, to be fair, Rachel was taking advantage of her.
She paid her. It was fair.
Yeah. But she was also taking advantage of her and being like, you're going to be my scapegoat for fashion, essentially.
Like, anytime someone asks you why you're wearing this, say I'm copying Rachel Berry.
Yeah, like, also, why, if, like, Rachel wanted the fashion to get out, why didn't she just try to, like, boost herself rather than get Brittany to do it?
Isn't the entire series Rachel boosting herself?
Yeah.
No one thinks that Rachel has a fashion sense.
Yeah. So Rachel goes up to Brittany, and this is when Brittany's like, just face it, Rachel, you're not a trendsetter. I have an interview with Teen Vogue, used all the money to hire a stylist, which makes me wonder, how big is Rachel's allowance? You can hire a stylist with it.
And also, she fed the goat with it. And
yeah, she's like, my uncle's got laid off, and his goat was hungry.
So she either had to pay Brittany more than once, or she gave her a shit ton of money, and Brittany then spent it. Yeah, she fed it on to a goat and hired a stylist. And I think she did one other thing with it too, but I don't remember.
Yeah, she's like, the goat was hungry. He mainly just ate the bills. Yeah. So then Rachel is feeling down on herself, but then after they sing MCR, they're like, let's do this song at regionals. Rachel is like, Oral Intensity beat us last year. We need to come up with something groundbreaking. We need to have an edge. We need to write our own original music for regionals. And no one else thinks it's a good idea, but afterwards Finn is like, I really like that idea. And she's like, how come you didn't speak up for me? And I'm like, true. And he's like, the only way you're going to prove it to those guys is by writing a kick-ass song and shoving it down their throats. He's like, I liked what you did there. The old Rachel is making a comeback. He walks off.
Which is
and Rachel's
so weird. It's so
She's literally crying.
He was such a douchebag earlier, and then like he didn't even stand up for what he thought was a good idea in class, which like wouldn't have affected anything. Like he could have raised his hand and be like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then everyone else could have still voted against it. And then he could have reaffirmed to her. But, like, he was kind of a douchebag. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you're being really awesome, Rachel. I'm glad for you.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
I believe in you.
yeah, I'm like, why are you being an asshole, Finn? Stop.
his whole reasoning didn't make any sense. at all.
Nebulous. That's the theme of this episode.
Yeah, they should have named it Nebulous because
Well, then
comeback doesn't make any sense either.
that would be admitting their fault if they.
True.
It's called comeback because apparently regresar in Spanish means
Nice
comeback.
roll.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the reason why it's called Comeback.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that's where it starts, and then Sue's making a comeback.
No, wait.
Rachel makes
Okay,
a
hold
comeback.
on.
Yeah, that's
Shu is the one who said this is going to be my comeback. Did we get any storyline about him making a comeback?
No.
nope.
Yes.
God.
Okay.
Yeah. His comeback was like, yes, I am back in the Spanish classroom. Done.
Wow.
That's his comeback.
So,
Inspiring.
would you do a Justin Bieber episode in the Gleeboot?
Absolutely not. It's way too ancient by now. Like
Okay.
Justin Bieber is a different person.
He made a comeback.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
This is okay. I took the liberty of thinking this very through my Gleeboot premise, and I think that the comeback episode should include Justin Bieber, but among a lineup of songs by artists who actually made a comeback.
Okay.
Like I thought
So
this
like-
episode was going to be about.
It's directly a reference to the fact like Justin Bieber was once this, went through a bunch of shit,
Then
and
he
now
got
he's this.
Feet in a bucket in Miami, and now he is a
Yeah.
humble married Christian man, and he has like different like he took like almost a break, like his music was not
Yeah.
doing super great, and now he's got like all these like pop songs at the top. And then I also I took the liberty of coming up with a list: Miley Cyrus, Cher, and Britney Spears, and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
5 songs. Perfect. They all made phenomenal comebacks, and that would have made more sense. Like they just shoehorned this comeback theme in a very bad way.
That again, another first for Glee.
That's a really good idea for an episode. I really
Yeah.
like that song list.
Like actually
that.
choosing artists that have made comebacks
Right.
is very good.
Now
Yeah.
that
I would add
So-
Kesha to the list.
honestly, this
I had
episode
a Kesha
shouldn't-
on my list. Cullen.
this,
Wait,
my amateur hour.
your sound went out for a second.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So I missed Kesha.
Miley
I heard
Cyrus,
Cher
Cher,
and
Justin Bieber, Kesha, and Britney Spears.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this episode honestly should have been titled Anthem because they were attempting to come up with anthems.
So Anthem ?
Yeah, there really wasn't. There was like very vague instances of comeback, and of course, no one took Anthem quote unquote correctly because Sue didn't appreciate it or approve of it. I don't know. I don't know what was happening in this episode, but I like
What if-
Alyssa's idea way better.
Yeah, it sounds like a great Glee
It
episode.
sounds like a well constructed and well thought out idea.
Yeah, so you guys are gonna have to run me my cash for that one when you do this reboot.
Happily, you can be the
Thank you.
producer. We'll
Yes.
we'll work everything out for it.
Great.
Story by Elissa. There you
With
go.
12 E's.
With 12 E's.
You could have a separate Anthem episode and a separate comeback episode.
Which would make sense. Like, okay, if our regionals is supposed to, is it regionals or is it national? Regionals. Regionals
Regionals, yeah.
is, okay, it's about anthems. Okay, a whole episode about what an anthem is, digging into actual anthems, not, hey, we're going to make a joke about all these kids not knowing really what an anthem is.
And then never tell us what an anthem is.
Yeah, it's nebulous. This episode, comeback, aka nebulous.
They should do Welcome to the Black Parade as an anthem.
I agree. I was gonna say that. A much better choice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it sounds like it is Tina
Tina
time!
Tina had 5 lines.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Show stopping.
It's like the Lady Gaga amazing show stopping,
Never before been
done
seen.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of her lines involved playing Angry Birds, and I feel old.
Yeah.
Now, Elissa, who is your least valuable player this week?
This is very controversial, but I determined this. It was definitely Brittany. I was shocked
Ooh.
by her behavior. I was upset because I mean, you guys love Brittany so much on this show, and so do I. I remember her being such a fun character with so many good one-liners, and the only one she really had was the Anthem one. I didn't even think
Yeah.
that nobody taught her to read a calendar line was that funny compared to like. I also agree with Cullen when she just says gross in that one episode. That is hilarious. And
Iconic.
iconic. And then when she like went off on Rachel, I was appalled. I agreed with Mark. What is her problem? She's not,
Okay,
she's
you
not
guys.
valuable.
I literally just figured out the joke.
The Anthem.
Yes.
One of its fans.
I didn't understand it until just now when you
Oh
said
my
Anthem.
God.
I was like, what? I didn't get it. Okay, I get it now. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Jokes are funnier when they're explained.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah, who is your LVP?
I'm gonna go with Sue. She used suicide as a way to get attention to do this stupid ploy, and that's just gross. Also, it didn't make sense. That's all I have to say.
Can I choose the writers?
Wow. I think this was, I want to say Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk wrote it, but let me double check.
They're not technically characters, though. For the record, I would go with the writers if I could.
Noted.
I think I'm also gonna go with Sue because the very first scene where she was committing suicide, quote unquote, was when I crawled out of my skin.
Okay.
And I hated it.
Only
I
written
hated
by Ryan Murphy. So.
it.
Sorry, Brad Falchuk.
My LVP is Quinn. She was being pretty not nice to Sam, and Finn was being a douche, but like still not nice to Finn. Like to trying to like have your cake and eat it too with two people. It's like pick one or the other.
Yeah.
Like don't string them both along. Yeah. Especially when you're committed to one of them officially. Not a good thing. Cheating, no. Yeah. Who is your MVP, Elissa?
My real MVP is Gerard Way for allowing them to use the song "Sing" in a Glee episode. But
ironically letting them use
ironically, yep, in the most emo way. But I went with Sam for my MVP. I unironically love his cover of "Baby." Perhaps that and "Bad Romance" are the only Glee songs on my Glee playlist. Just those two. I thought he was really great in this episode, and I loved when he kicked Quinn to the curb. I was here for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Hannah?
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with Sam. Like, I didn't really like the covers, but there is something to what Quinn said about the fact that, like, he really just owned it. Like, he was kind of aware of, he might not have been aware of, like, the sort of humiliation factor, but he really stood up to it when people were like, this is stupid. He was like, no, like, I'm gonna do this. And I thought there was definitely some bravery and some strength to that. And I did think he, like, owned it, and it was kind of cute to see him, like, doing the silly dance moves and stuff. So I was here for that. I was also here for the fact that he stood up for himself and kind of came to terms with what I'm assuming that he kind of already knew but was trying to, like, push aside. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sam MVP.
Woo.
Guess what, guys? I'm also going with Sam.
Shocker.
Whoa, crazy. First of all, he's my Glee boyfriend and I don't cheat. So
All right.
Shade, Quinn Fabrarian. Shade.
But also, I didn't really appreciate how good of an actor he really is until I saw this episode and realized, like, he's quite tragic. in this episode, and I felt for him.
Yeah.
It was very interesting, especially watching his interactions with Santana. Just to see exactly how his character was going to respond, and like you could tell that he wasn't happy about the situation at all. And I like tragedy, so I liked him in this episode.
Oh.
This was Sam's week, guys, because I'm going with Sam too.
Sam!
Yeah, I loved his Justin Bieber dance, and Finn was being all like, oh, like Justin Bieber's lame, and Sam was just owning it and having fun and doing his dance, and I love his cover of Baby, and yeah, so Sam's week.
Go Sam, go Sam, go Sam.
How those dance moves were they were signature J Beeb's moves, like the toe hop that he does, and like some of those things is very Bieber. Although Justin Bieber did, I remember, tweet at him after the episode and tell him he danced really bad or something like that. And like no words, yeah.
Oh my god, I need to find that.
Actually, yeah, there's a tweet.
That needs to be a SoMe post.
All right, correspondent.
Oh, no.
Alyssa, you're my correspondent. You gotta help me find that.
All right, I'll look for it in the Bieber archives.
So, Elissa, what was your least favorite song this week?
It was Somebody to Love. I don't have a good reason though. I just wasn't that good, and Sam did not look hot in it, so I really didn't like that one.
I'm gonna go with I Know What Boys Want. I'm here for like the message, but I'm not sure I liked the execution. If it had been like a different context, I feel like this Lauren Zicey's number would have been banging. But the context was that like she wanted to sing it in front of the class. It just, I don't know. It was kind of odd. I would have preferred it more in terms of like the story that was going on with her. Like a sing in the hallway type number, but didn't care for it.
So, can we have a list of the songs? Because
we have This Little Light of Mine. We have
Boo!
Take Me or Leave Me. Take Me or Leave Me. Baby. Somebody to Love.
Sing.
Sing. I Know What Boys Like. And that's it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Somebody to Love also.
Yeah.
Just because it just wasn't, I don't know, it didn't fit as well into the rest of the episode, in my opinion. Even though, like, that's when Quinn decided she was gonna date Sam. I don't know, it was slappy. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, it was my least favorite too. It just wasn't that fun or interesting to watch. Like, I Know What Boys Like was kind of awkward and cringy, but like it was fun, like to see like Finn in the Power Ranger shirt. Like it was like there were like gags in it to keep me entertained. And I always want to say never say never. Somebody to Love was not that interesting.
It was like
that chalk was not as cool as they thought it was.
It was kind of like they knew that they had two Bieber songs and they just like couldn't figure out the execution properly. So like they got one because I thought Baby was fun to watch, but Somebody to Love, maybe it was all the production design. It was like you didn't need all that, maybe.
Well, the interesting thing is like I feel like the chalk could have been really cool, but somehow they messed it up.
I don't understand where it came from. I don't remember that being a Bieber thing. All I can think of is LeBron James.
So, Elissa, what was your favorite song this week?
You know, I thought about saying Sing, but they really ruined it with the aesthetics for me. I was baffled by the lumberjack outfits, the bottom of the subway backdrop. So I did have to go with Baby. I really, really love that cover. I love the way Cord Overstreet does it. I think it was really cute how the girls reacted. And I loved his little Justin Bieber hoodie and the fact that he called his one-man band the Justin Bieber Experience. I was really into it.
I am gonna go with "Take Me or Leave Me." I love that song in the musical, and then I also love the cover. The harmonies are banging. Rachel and Mercedes, I kind of wish they sang more together because their voices are really, really cool together. Yeah, "Take Me or Leave Me."
I'm gonna go with sing. Because I really hate the lumberjack outfits. I was really surprised by them. I didn't understand what was going on. And apparently this is a grunge look. Lumberjack, like plaid with jeans.
It's grunge without the rough edges.
Interesting.
That's what I'm calling it.
Apparently I wear grunge and I didn't even know. So, cool.
Not all plaid is grunge, but I think with
Okay, which plaid?
I'm thinking with the MCR and with the subway backdrop, it was, and also the handheld camera, it was trying to evoke some sort of like grunge anthem-esque feel that made
I don't know. It was the aesthetic was really weird, but it was my favorite music. It was my favorite music of the episode, so it was fun to sing to and fun to listen to.
Sing is one of my favorite Glee covers of all time. It's on repeat on Spotify because I love it that much. It is so fun and so epic and dramatic. It's an anthem. I love it. Yeah.
Still won't tell me what an anthem is.
No, I don't know. Maybe do you hear the people sing from Les Mis?
Oh, I literally listened to that last night because all of a sudden I just like wanted to listen to Les Mis. I got like chills and I wanted to cry.
Anthem.
That's what it is.
You can't just throw songs at me and say anthem.
Fireworks.
Party in the USA. Anthem.
Anthem.
That's not helping, guys.
Dinosaur by
Canada.
Kesha.
Anthem.
Eat It by Weird Al Yankovic. Anthem. All right, I'm done.
They need to do a mashup of that and Bon Appetit, baby.
It's in the Gleeboot, baby.
The Gleeboot. All right. So that's all for this week. Elissa, I hope you had so much fun being on the podcast.
I did. This was so fun. It was like everything I dreamed of because, I'm an avid listener. Sometimes I will talk to you guys, but you can't hear. I'll just tell you your opinions are wrong, like to my kitchen. But now I can tell you in person, like what I think.
Or she'll text me and be like, please pass this along or please correct it on the next episode.
I really will.
We appreciate it.
We're glad someone's holding us accountable.
Yeah. We had so much fun having you, so I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Hannah, do you want to plug our Somies?
Sure. So we are at Gleeboot Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And then we're gleebootpod.tumblr.com. Nailed it.
Yes. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at yourboyryan99, Y-A-B-O-I Ryan, and YouTube at yourboyryan.
And you can follow me at a.m.swearingen. That's SWEARINGEN. No T's involved.
Elissa, do you have any social media you'd like to plug or promote, or just anything you want to promote?
I am not super interesting, but I feel obligated to push the vegan agenda while I'm here. So I would follow at Tabitha Brown on TikTok. She's this fantastic lady who makes vegan recipes in a minute or less, and they are all amazing, and she is really funny, and I love her. At Tabitha Brown.
She makes the entire recipe in under a minute.
I mean, she cuts there's cuts, it's edited, but she makes fun stuff like carrot bacon and Mexican street corn, and it's all vegan and it's all really good. I've tried some of her recipes.
I was gonna say that's, amazing. If
Yeah.
You can make something in under.
A little longer than a minute.
Dang.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, we'll promote that on the pod. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yay.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm waving at you even though you can't see me.
This is a visual medium.
Yes.
Tune in next week for us to talk about Glee and alcohol.
Which
Oh,
we
I
do
love that
every
episode.
week.
What?
Yeah.
It's my weekly life.
Oh.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.